conditions to this point in time are good by all accounts, as I've wandered around the rooms here and talked to the various teams.
Excellent. Takeout weight is probably about 10 seconds between hog lines. Draw weight would be about 14 seconds between hog lines for to put the rock in the house, and that's what Stefan Waugh just did there. Now Quebec's laying 2, and PEI is asking Arsenault to make a takeout on that rock in the house.
And for all intents and purposes, folks, this Wednesday here on draw number 9, moving day, so to speak. Again, just to recap here, Quebec comes into this game at 1-2, so their backs are against the wall. PEI at 2-1, still with a shot. 4-2, with where you would want to be, as I look at the standings there in the main lobby here of the Miramichi Curling Club. We have 6 sheets of ice, games on all of them. The other featured game features Nunavut and British Columbia. All right, Pat, you take our way here anytime. Don't be shy.
We're looking for another takeout here from Quebec on that PEI stone in the middle of the house, biting the 4-foot. And if he hasn't thrown the weight, that's curling pretty good. Then he gets a piece of it and knocks it out. Now Quebec's laying 2, splitting the rings, but PEI doesn't have the hammer in this end, so a skip with good draw time should have no trouble reaching the middle of the house at any time.
Now, we had a brief conversation off the air here, Pat, before we got rolling. I see the stopwatch in your right hand here. So from hog line to hog line, ideally you're looking for what kind of time in that window?
For this as a takeout, he's probably looking at 9 to 10 seconds between hog lines. And we'll see what he's got on this one.
I love the fact you have your stopwatch in hand. You've come
and this rock is really curling, and he's made a clean miss. He did have 9.8 seconds there between hog lines, and that should have been enough for a takeout. So either the skip didn't give him enough ice, or he didn't quite get out to the broom properly.
All right, so an early miss here, and the windows of opportunity are open now.
Well, Quebec could lie 3 after this stone, and puts PEI in a little bit of trouble here.
And I would suspect, Pat, and if I'm wrong, please tell me so, but as we see that early miss here, you got to kind of figure things out. The ice is changing from end to end here, or draw to draw, excuse me.
Yes, it will change, and with temperature and everything else, it changes up and down throughout the game, but Quebec is lying 3, but it should be fairly easy to make a... He wants a hit and roll here. He's looking for a hit and roll. So.
All right, so the table is set, as Pat says. Quebec lying 3 in here now. Ramsey in the hack for Prince Edward Island. This is Patrick Ramsey, who again comes in here today at 2-1.
He has a decent-looking rock here, Patty. A little bit more weight on this one, and he should get a bit of a roll here. Not much.
Not much at all.
But he is lying number 1, and those, really the Quebec stones are in there, but they're not really good ones, you know, if you'll know what I mean. Because PEI does have the last rock, and as I was saying, a decent skip should be able to draw that 8 to 4 foot almost every time he throws.
Right.
Another takeout by Quebec here. Made a nice shot.
Well, we have a second from left to right here, folks, and you can follow along on Curling Canada, of course, with the live scoring. We have Nunavut and Nova Scotia over in the men's division on sheet number 2. The other featured broadcast this afternoon, Nunavut and British Columbia in the women's division. Yukon and Alberta on sheet number 3. Northern Ontario and Quebec to our immediate left. Quebec and PEI, of course, your featured game here with Pat and I this afternoon. And to our immediate right, Saskatchewan and Northwest Territories in the women's division here. So we're in the early stages here of the opening end in draw number 9. Again, our feature game is Quebec and PEI.
PEI just makes another takeout and lies number 1 in the house down there. And we can look at the far end of our sheet on the monitor above us here.
Beautiful. We have a bird's eye view.
And Quebec will be playing another takeout here.
As I look at that, Pat, that'll come in handy at various points in the course of this afternoon. So thank you for thanks for pointing that out.
And it does switch ends when they start playing this way. They'll be recording this.
Good to know.
I think the cameras are out there right above the ice there, I think so.
And as you say, cameras above the ice here, Pat, let's talk turkey on this Miramichi Curling Club. Of course, very near and dear to yourself and I, but I've been hearing nothing but rave reviews, both of the facility and the conditions of the ice. So it leads me to believe that we have a real crown jewel here for the local curling club.
Absolutely, we do. And we're always looking for more curlers, by the way.
Yes, sir.
We fill it up in the evenings. It'd be much better, and great atmosphere here. And if you're a first-timer, there's a lot of people here who can give you very good instructions on the game and how to throw, how to stand up properly, how to slide, deliver the rock with the right turns.
And I'm glad you said that. For myself, who's a non-player but loves to be around and involved, nothing but warm hospitality here. And it's been a fantastic week here to this point in time. Here we are only on Wednesday, so there's a long road ahead yet here, as we say, but it's just been a real corker of a start to this 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship, Curling Canada. And thanks to the gang here at Bell TV1 as well, who are bringing you the broadcast. Patty Quinn and Pat Waldorf here as Quebec tries to lay one in there.
And that's their Skip's first stone, and looks like he's got a good draw here. Splits the rings, and Quebec lies 2 again.
So by and large, Pat, failing temperature and conditions, by and large at this point in the week and at this point in the juncture, these teams have this ice figured out here for.
Well, they've got at least three games under the belt now, and some of the teams have already played 4 with this morning's draw. So yes, they should have a good handle on it now. And you got to remember, these are all club curlers, and some of them don't get to play too often. Especially some of the far north teams, Nunavut and Yukon and Northwest Territories, because their travel situation is so difficult for them up there. If they do want to go somewhere, it costs a lot of money because most of the time they have to fly.
Absolutely.
And a lot of travel involved with them. So I think we were talking to one of the teams there, and they said they got 8 sheets of ice in Whitehorse, and they can play about 5 nights a week up there, but it's not the same. They're not getting out meeting different competitions.
Right. Absolutely.
The more differences you see, the better you're going to get.
So we're down to skip stones here in the opening end of draw number 9 here, our feature game this afternoon, Quebec and Prince Edward Island. Skip Jamie Newson here from the province of PEI, who have the hammer here in the opening end.
Just made a bit of a mistake there. He's a little light on his draw.
A little light,
and he's the 3rd counting rock. And there's only 3 rocks in the house, but Quebec is counting 1 and 2. So I think he's going to, looks like he's going to try and put one right in the middle and hope that PEI rolls off it or something. He might be able to steal 2 this way. The PEI skip was just a little light on his draw, and you can see how much it moved from the ice he gives. You can see there now he's way out in the middle of the 12-foot ice for the skip for Quebec.
They seem to like it.
Yeah, they're not touching a broom to it, so he might have given it a little bit more, or might be a little warm. Right to the back of the 4-foot. So he'll just try and hit and stick on top of it and pick up 1. But that's always a good thing. When you have the hammer, you're always looking for 2 or more. So if you're forced to 1, and Quebec will have the hammer next in.
Right.
Unless they steal some here.
And it's a game of deuces, Pat, eh?
It is really. More often than you can score deuces. Then the other team starts trying different shots.
Yeah,
and you can end up with 3 or 4.
Correct. Force their hand, so to speak.
Yes.
There is another draw later this evening, of course, folks. You'll have 2 featured broadcasts at 7:30 this evening as we with that draw, we'll wrap up day number 3. That'll be draw number 10. So make sure you check out and keep on top of things and follow your team.
You got to stay on this one. And he makes the shot. And gets his 1.
All right, so PEI settles for 1 here in the opening draw. Quebec will have a chance to counter here with the hammer. In the second end, draw number 9 here. Wednesday afternoon, day number 3 of the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship.
They're having a look at those 2 rods.
Yes, they are.
They might want to measure to see which one. We're looking at the overhead here.
Well, now, Pat, to me, to my eye, from where I'm sitting, it looks yellow to me.
It's the one that's closest to the middle.
Yes.
And as you can see, quite a bit of the...
Oh, you can see a little bit of white here on the other side of the red, too, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So they'll probably have a measure here by the looks of it.
All right.
And that'll be the...
high drama here in the opening end.
Yes. It happens fairly often, even in club games.
Yeah, for sure.
Get that thing.
Just a programming note, folks, as you listen in and watch, there is all kinds of spectators here. That's a good problem to have, but you are hearing some extraneous noise here in the background. We have bleachers set up in the basement here, just immediately below Pat and I, as you listen in here this afternoon. Of course, we're located up in the cafeteria area of the Miramichi Curling Club, so you are hearing some extraneous noise here. So
yes, and if everybody's watching this handy, not too far away, and you want to come down and have a look at it live,
yep,
it's a great spot to relax and have a taste. And
that's a great point you make, Pat, especially for folks who are listening in the province of New Brunswick here. As I've mentioned a few times, it's only day number 3 here. We have a full day of action on Thursday. Friday we get into the playoff rounds, and then things wrap up on Saturday. So still 3 days of curling. And let us make a little note here as we wait for the outcome of this measure. Make a note that we have evening entertainment tonight. It's a bit of a trivia night here in the main lobby. Tomorrow night, comedian James Mullinger is coming up from the port city of St. John, New Brunswick, for an evening on Thursday, and then we're going to wrap things up on Friday evening with a good old-fashioned East Coast kitchen party with Raglan Road, a fine band from up the northern part of our province in Bathurst. And I know the visitors from abroad will enjoy every minute of our evening entertainment, and they have already, and they will do so moving forward here. So as Pat said, please, an open invitation. The door is open. Plenty of parking. We pushed all the snow away, and we're ready for you here. So we'd love to see you up at the Miramichi Curling Club.
Must be a very close measure. It's yellow that gets it. She just moved the red one off, so. And that's normally in club competition. The mates will get out and do that job. But here it's officials from Curl Canada that do it, so.
A little bit more at stake here.
Yes.
So it is 1 for PEI here in the opening end of draw number 9. That'll set the table here as we move forward.
So you see, even the score changing on the back is all done by the Curling Canada judges and scorekeepers.
Curling Canada is certainly here, Pat, with an entourage of folks. It's been great to make their acquaintance. They are coming from all points beyond. We should give a little quick plug as we have a moment here to all the local volunteers who are making things happen here at Miramichi Curling Club. We have all kinds of timers here as well who are working hard through the course of this afternoon's draw and have been doing so to this point in time in the championship, and will do so moving forward. So we've mobilized many here, Pat. There's no shortage of folks who are pitching in here.
We certainly have, and yes, we've got 28 ambassadors for the 2018.
Right.
We got 10 or 12 drivers who drive people back and forth. For
cars are running back from the east and west points of the city, former towns of Chatham and Newcastle here.
Yeah.
The real heroes of the day. I brought up a load of groceries the other day. The crew in the kitchen, Pat, having stops, and Sunday, holy smokes, they're churning out meal upon meal and snack after snack. So here we are here, folks. Just again, if you're joining us, Patty Quinn, Pat Waldrop, Travelers Curling Club Championship, Curling Canada, Bell TV 1 2018 Championship from the beautiful Miramichi Curling Club. It is draw number 9. Our feature game you're watching is Prince Edward Island, who lead 1-0 here over Quebec. The other feature game is Nunavut and BC in the women's division.
And he sweeps that one out of the rings. it's really nice to see these club curlers getting a chance to go to a national championship.
Yes,
a lot of them, because some strong curlers in their province or territory, never get this chance. So they're really enjoying it and making the most out of it. So it's nice to see. Really a good chance for them to gain some experience on the national level.
And having the tournament here in Miramichi and New Brunswick, of course, I would think by and large, for many folks, a nice trip east here as well, perhaps for their first time. A lot warmer in July, we're not going to lie to you there.
We don't normally get snow at this time of the year
no,
either.
It's, yeah, you know what, you're 100% right there. It's going to be a long winter here in the northeastern part of our province. Winter blew in a couple of weeks early for sure.
Yes, I can remember some winters we never had snow till about the middle of January.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And this is a little unexpected, but it makes it nice for curling because it's a winter sport, and it certainly looks like winter out there and feels like it. So.
Now, Pat, as you referenced that, and please don't laugh when I ask you this, but I'm going to venture to guess and take a shot in the dark here that cooler conditions outside can only help conditions inside, or am I right out to lunch on that?
Well, it used to be that way, but now they have so many.
The high-tech gadgetry is taking care of that.
Yes,
I gotcha.
You see them curling in the middle of the summer now in rinks, and it's like the hockey and stuff now. It's just everything changes as technology starts to take over for us.
Well, now, Pat, if I dare ask, how many years have you been a member or curling?
Oh, about 38, I think.
So you've seen some changes in the game. Dare I ask this? The game versus 38 years ago versus right now, it's changed a lot. Which will you prefer?
I prefer it this way.
Yes.
It's much sounder. It's easier on the nerves because if you have a good slide and good delivery, you can make shots. Before, it was really up to whatever ice you went to, wherever you played, and it was totally different everywhere you went.
Well, now, and call me crazy, Pat, and you know, my vast knowledge, my knowledge of the game is not all that vast, but you know, once upon a time when I'd watch it on TV, it was get a rock in there, peel the rock, get a rock in, peel the rock, and you'd see 1-0s, 2-1s, 3-2s.
Well, that's true. The game changed because they used to do all the takeouts, and a lot of that had to do with the ice. If you could throw the big weight, it would stay straight for you. And that all changed with the Russ Howard rule, or the Moncton rule, they call it.
Absolutely. And this 4-rock rule has made a difference, and the soon-to-be 5-rock rule shall make yet another difference.
Yeah.
I'd like to see rocks in play. I don't know.
And it will be now.
Yeah.
With that 5-rock rule, it's going to make another big change to it.
Just to give you a quick update here, folks, for folks listening in and watching from across the country, we'll run through the scores best we can here. We'll have to appreciate that Pat and I are looking through many bodies on the ice at ice level. Nunavut, Nova Scotia on the women's, zeros across the board there. Nunavut and BC. Excuse me, that was men's. Nunavut and BC in the women's, the other feature game. It was It's 3-0 for British Columbia here after 1. Yukon and Alberta men's 2-0 Alberta. Northern Ontario and Quebec just in the sheet adjacent to us in the women's division 2-0 Northern Ontario, and Quebec has the hammer there. Our feature game 1-0 for PEI after PEI settled for 1, and the game to our immediate right 4-0 in the early stages of that game. Excuse me, with Northern Ontario.
I think that was a mistake there.
I think so too.
Both those red rocks are behind the tee line, and perfect spot for them would be sitting right between the two of them.
I'm going to correct myself. That it's Northwest Territories. I said Northern Ontario. Excuse me. To our immediate right, it is 4-0 in the early stages of that particular game. Northwest Territories, excuse me, and Saskatchewan. So back to our featured game here. There are some rocks in play here. 1-0 Prince Edward Island over Quebec. We're in the second end here in draw number 9. Looks a little light to me, Pat.
It is, but they're trying to bring it in, but it might have been. It's number 3.
Yes, sir. They've made something out of nothing there, as it looks like.
Yeah, we'll look at the camera up here, and it looks like the red one's number 3. But they should try and get something in on top of those two red ones. He was a little light last time, but...
Well, and again, as I look down there, Pat, to me, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and that's why we're here to learn here today, as well as feature the games for folks watching and listening across the country.
Sweeping hard. It's moving on him, and
right.
Looks like he might be a tad light again.
And as I look at the rocks below us here, as Quebec with the red is sitting two below the line here, would you rather have them above or below?
Be better above, because it's people can come and move in on top of them, right, and they'll be closer to the buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's two mistakes by Nova Scotia coming up light there. So.
PEI.
Right. Correct me if you will.
Yes. Curling we can handle, geography not so much.
I've been doing so many games here that start looking at the colors and forget to read the names on them. But it's nice to see all 6 sheets going and a lot of activity out here.
Absolutely. Parking lot full. It's been a tremendous week here in Miramichi. All right.
Looks like he's trying to throw a guard here with that weight, but there's so much curl on it that they're having trouble keeping it out. He's still lasting a go in there, but he's going to have to go way outside.
Yeah, I got to take the long road in now.
A little more weight on this one.
I was going to say, it looks a little hotter than the previous ones.
It won't curl as much when they do.
Right.
Once it starts to drop off, it'll start to come over. That's a better shot. But
still for the taking.
Yes. He's going way outside the rings to give ice. That's another little difference about European ice and the ice here.
Okay, do tell.
Their sheets are, well, the same length, but they're a little wider.
Over there versus here?
Yes.
Okay.
I think you can get almost 2 rocks in on the side.
From the ring to the edge?
To the edge of the sheet. So
I got you.
Their sheets are a little wider. But it doesn't make much difference on the scoring.
So they're all on it here, trying to bring her home.
It's a nice draw. Just a tad light, but something to promote later, maybe. It's nice to see a lot of rocks in play.
I agree. I agree, 100%.
Well, there's 10 of them. 10 of them in there. There's only one being taken out so far in this end, the second end. It's always nice to go to a national event as a participant and not a spectator.
Absolutely. On a front row seat.
Yeah. Right down on the ice and look at the people that are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the first time you go, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Well,
too.
Sure.
And I had a lot of fun going with our vision-impaired curling team from here.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I was going to make reference to that earlier. I was waiting for a window of opportunity, but you'll recall, and we'll harken back to the opening ceremonies on Monday evening.
Yes.
Linda Sobey, the lady's name, she threw just a tremendous rock. So when we have a moment here, Pat, after this stone, maybe you can tell the folks exactly about Miss Sobey and her team. And I know that team and that tournament is near and dear to you, so I look forward to.
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 trips to Ottawa with them to the national championships. And you can see the banner right up in front of us.
Right, yourself. I remember David as well, David Bowie.
Yeah. David's gone now.
Oh, I see right now. Yes, Mr. Potter as well. James Cunningham, Linda Sobey, John Stairs, and Anne LaFontaine.
Yeah,
myself and David.
Anne was from Toronto, and the thing about it is that on those vision-impaired teams, they had to have one totally blind person and 2 what they call B1s and one B2. And makes a big difference. They're all legally blind and one totally blind. And because the one's totally blind can't sweep,
right?
That's why you have a sweeper on, Anne LaFontaine.
I got you.
She lives up in Ontario, and she was good enough to come and sweep with us that year. So, and she's legally blind too. So.
And Pat, I may out myself here and moderately embarrass myself. I shall apologize, but the game is played the same way, by and large.
Same way.
Yes.
Same way.
Same number of rocks, same number of ends, the whole 9 yards.
Yes, that's true, and. There's a few differences because you have to be on the ice with them to hold the brush for them. Like
right.
The skip will give the broom what he wants to do, but they can't. A lot of them can't see to the end down there. So
they're on this one here, trying to bring her home. It looks like it's
sweeping hard.
Oh boys, oh boys,
really working this.
Wow.
And they got it in there.
Lots of action there in the home stretch.
To lay 2. I would say 2 red ones. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so where they can't see is like when Linda was throwing or something, you'd have to hold the broom up the first hog line so she could see you there. So you'd have to get in the skip had the broom way out on the edge of the 12-foot up there.
Oh, okay.
You'd draw a line from the hack, imaginary line from the hack.
Certainly.
And see where it crosses the first hog line here, and you'd hold the broom there in line with him, so she'd have something to aim at where she could see to, so that she could put the right turn on it.
Okay, now here's another question for you. As I watched Linda the other night, was she, Pat, and again, if I embarrass myself, I'll apologize, she knew exactly when to let go of that rock without anyone telling her so. So is she counting steps there as she works her way forward?
I'm not sure how Linda does it, but I think she can see enough that when she's getting close to the hog line, she knows she has to let it go.
Okay.
She knows what turn to put on by what side of the sheet you're holding it on, so she knows whether it's an in turn or an out turn.
So while we have a second here, as PEI eyes things up, at what point in that tournament, and it's back to 2013 there, what a great run it was. At what point in that tournament did things start to swing here on moving day, as they say, where you think, oh my goodness, we have a shot here?
Yeah. Actually, it was a team against Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And it was an all-ladies team, and they had the same thing, one totally blind.
Yes.
And they were leading, and Vern Potter made a shot that
you can still see in your mind's eye. Wow.
He says, I'll never make that. Vern, just get up and throw it. That's the only shot you got. And I said, throw it hard. So he come down. He was throwing with the stick too, curler.
Yeah.
And he got up and threw that shot, wicked off the one outside like he was supposed to, hit another one in the house, and they had one in, and I think we picked up 5 in that end or something, and ended up beating them.
There's the swing right there. Now, so Pat, as I see it here, Quebec is sitting 2 here, of course, with the hammer here. So
yeah. And
we have a little draw for 3, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what he's going to try. He's got to do the big come around, and he's going to have a hard time getting in. I'll try and get a split on this rock and see what he's throwing.
And trying to understand here, Pat, as I look down, and of course they're playing towards us now, folks. Why not have come out over here with that other Yellowstone? Why lay it where they did and leave that lane open, so to speak?
I have no idea. There's just so many rocks in play. He didn't have much place to draw, and this would have been the better spot for him. He threw a little bit more here.
I was going to say this looks a little bit,
but it's staying out there too. It's not curling very much. Most of the curl here is from the hog line in.
Right.
But he threw. Sometimes when you haven't used that part of the ice, where they've been sweeping and everything, it'll get a little faster.
Okay.
And if you get out where there's a bit of frost, you have to throw it a bit harder. So you'll see them when you're watching it on TV sometime. They'll say, well, I threw 14 over there, and out here, what do you think? And you say, well, maybe you have to throw a 13 or something, because it's got to travel further than a straight one that's just curling out.
Okay.
If you have to go way out, it has to travel maybe 5 or 6 feet further, so you have to put a little bit more on it. And then if there's frost on it, you got to add a little bit more because of the frost, because the frost will slow it down too.
So Quebec puts up a deuce here. It is 2-1 in our featured game this afternoon. PEI with a hammer here in the third. The 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship from Miramichi, New Brunswick. A good afternoon from Miramichi to everyone listening in here in the province of PEI and Quebec and clear across the country here. Curling Canada Travelers Curling Club Championship. Some big scores in this afternoon draw here, working from left to right. We'll update you here in a couple of minutes. The other featured game from the women's division has Nunavut and British Columbia. BC leading that one 7-0 after 2. Nunavut with the hammer in the third. So as I had made reference to, some big scores to our immediate right. We have a 5-0 game, but we'll run through those here as we progress through end number 3 here.
Yes, I was watching yesterday. The Nunavut team is having a lot of problems, but.
Well, I think I read the women's team in particular won their first game since 2011, if I read the Curling Canada website right earlier this morning. So that was a bit of a celebratory atmosphere here last night. And it's funny, it's not funny, I find it interesting that, you know what, everyone likes a dark horse, and the crowd here was behind them and celebrating with them as they won that first game in a few years.
And the northern teams always have a little bit of trouble with those travel problems they have and trying to get somewhere to curl. And it's the nicest people you'd ever want to meet.
Oh, agreed.
Talking to them, and this men's team from the territories, I believe, are 3-0. One of them.
It's funny. One of the conversations that I've been having as I continue to work around the rooms here is everyone has been picking my brain. Of course, you see a Big Lab and you think you know where all the good restaurants are. Funny how that works, but seafood is number one. Now, Pat, you and I are certainly spoiled here. We live very close to the ocean. Nothing to get a feed of seafood any given day and any time of the year, but holy smokes, they're looking for them left, right, and center here.
For sure. And we have a lot of restaurants advertised out here too.
Yes, absolutely.
Good eateries. I see. O'Donoghue's Irish Pub is down there on the advertising.
Yes,
and
Capers Pub and Eatery.
Capers, and we have Pizza Delight and Subway up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tim Hortons.
For family and friends of these curlers, we're not going to see them go hungry here in Miramichi, I can assure you of that. Just to update you as Pat makes reference to the team from up in the territories here, we'll go through the women's pool and Pool A heading into this draw. Northwest Territories 3-0, Alberta 3-1, Saskatchewan 2-1, British Columbia is even at 2-2, Northern Ontario 1-2, Nunavut 1-3, and Quebec 0-3. In Pool B, Manitoba 3-0, Newfoundland and Labrador 3-1, Nova Scotia 2-1, Ontario 2-1. Our province sitting at 1-2. That's New Brunswick, of course. Yukon 1-3, and Prince Edward Island is 0-4. In the men's pool, Manitoba in Pool A is 4-0, Nova Scotia 3-1, PEI 2-1, Alberta 1-2, Yukon 1-2, Quebec 1-2, Nunavut 0-4, and of course reference both PEI and Quebec. That is our featured game here this afternoon. British Columbia over in Pool B enters into the next draw at 3-0, Saskatchewan 3-0, Ontario 2-1. Our province is even at 2-2. That is New Brunswick, Northern Ontario 1-2, Newfoundland and Labrador 1-3, and the Northwest Territories 0-4 here. So that is your standings up to date on the onset of this draw number 9 here on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll go left to right here on these 6 sheets of ice in the minutes to come here as we plow through this feature game here this afternoon, which to bring you up to speed, Quebec leads 2-1 here in the third. PEI has the all-important hammer. As I look at our curling club here from left to right, we were waxing nostalgic with the 2013 Impaired Curling Championship. The stories are many of the 1988 Tankard run that our local team, Stevie Adams and his crew. You remember that?
Yes, very well.
Yes.
I think I was president of the curling club that year.
Absolutely. Did you make the trip, dare I ask?
No, I didn't make that trip. But that was really a nice championship to win back then, because Stephen had missed out a couple of years before that.
Okay.
That he looked like he should have won, and had to end up playing 3 games on one Sunday there, I think, and got knocked out.
Let's see how good your memory is. So we had Stevie Adams, we had Roger was there as well.
Yeah.
Gallant.
Yeah.
Doty.
And
Gallivan, help me out.
Greg Gallivan.
Greg, excuse me, yes, I just gapped out there. Quite a thing, eh? And it seems, as I talk to people here, it seems like either the Briar or the Scotties seems to be the must-do thing for the curling fan. You got to do it at least once in your life.
Yeah. That's what they're looking for. Some other ones of guys. There used to be a, I don't know if they still have it or not, there used to be a Nationals for the Legion too.
I remember, call me crazy, was the post office not a big one?
Yes,
Yes.
And we hosted the Nationals here one year too.
Is that so? At this particular club?
At this club.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old is this club, Pat?
About 10 years,
10
I think.
years,
Yeah, Doty has taken his team to the Nationals quite a few years, and they finally hosted it here.
Absolutely.
And as a matter of fact, our Omega League looked after all the meals that year, or most of the meals that year.
I'm going to embarrass myself. Omega League is?
That's the afternoon league for people 55 and over.
Okay.
Men and women. So.
Okay.
We're playing again this year in that league, and we have 10, 12 teams. 10.
When you say men's and women's, are you playing mixed teams there? Is that what you're saying? Or
men and women, anybody
whoever shows up, you're
over
playing.
55,
Gotcha.
and usually we'll make teams up for maybe a five draws, and and after that everybody's name goes back in the hat, and five,
rotate her around.
Yeah, you could end up with one player the same, but most of the time it works out pretty well, and everybody ends up on a different team. And we have a great time on it.
We play fun, gets a little exercise, and
we play every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon at 1:30 till about 3:30, and we're all finished. And it's good for the older people because nobody's traveling after dark. And
you think you could call in a favor for a 42-year-old friend who's never thrown a rock in his life to try her out?
Well, we'd give you a break there, yeah. Come out as a guest curler.
All right, 2-1 in our featured game here this afternoon. Quebec leading here in the third. PEI with the hammer. 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship. Beautiful Miramichi teams are enjoying it here. Wherever you are watching and listening in, Pat and I are waving at you. If you're within striking distance of Miramichi, as we had mentioned on the outset of our broadcast this afternoon, get up here, for goodness sakes. Don't be a stranger, don't be shy. We'll leave the door open for you. There are 24 games per day here moving forward. 4 draws of 6 as we progress through the schedule. This, as Pat had indicated, a bit of a moving day here. This is where we're going to start to see some separation and find out who is who as things heat up and ramp up here.
Quebec's really putting the pressure on there and laying 3 again. And PEI is going to make a takeout here. Not much of a roll, huh?
We were just handed that note. Wednesday night, what does it say? There's a learn to curl.
Learn to curl.
Is that for all ages? Or? Oh, wow.
That's for Patty Quinn.
Okay, perfect. We'll give her a try.
But if you want to take a break, come out in the afternoon with us.
Do you know what, though, Pat? It's interesting that we would, here we are joking about it, but all things considered, it's no shortage of, events to watch on television. Here we are doing the same right now. I love the game. I love to watch it, but honest to goodness, I've never taken it upon myself to throw a rock. And I don't know why. I really don't.
Should give it a shot sometime, just see
and look, a credit to yourself and a credit to the folks here. It's been a heck of a week here just to be around it, and the camaraderie, and no shortage of laughs, as you well know here. We've had all kinds of laughs here this week.
Oh, I listen to you on the radio in the morning. There's never a shortage of laughter.
I have a terrible laugh. I apologize for that.
No.
All right, so Quebec sitting 2 here as we take a look at things.
Yeah, they're going to try and draw in for another one. They're keeping the pressure right on PEI here, and
their foot on the gas, so to speak.
Yeah, usually PEI teams are a little more aggressive than what I've seen so far in this one. I see these ladies here. I did 2 games for them, the Northern Ontario girls here, and they're awful nice people too. But they're way up in Fort Francis and almost in Manitoba, so they're a long ways away from curling. Going too many places to curl in Ontario, almost as bad as the North in the territory. So.
It's interesting as I look at the program and brochure as I prepared to be here this afternoon. Some of the names are not names from our local phone book.
No.
Oh my goodness! And then when I read my schedule with PEI, I thought, I can handle that one. I think, by and large.
There's one of the girls from Nunavut. I believe her name is Kutu.
Kutu, I spoke to her earlier today.
Yeah,
Funny you would say that.
Nice girl.
Yes, she is, indeed.
I think that's her out there on ice 2.
Sheet number 2, it is indeed.
Yes, nice lady. Well, I haven't met anybody here I don't think I couldn't get along with since I've been here.
I agree. We haven't thrown anyone out yet.
No. If anybody's going to get thrown out, it's probably going to be us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, from left to right, sheet number 1 in the men's division, Nova Scotia leading Nunavut. They're in the 4th, as Pat had just mentioned here. I just saw Doty out of the corner of my eye. BC leading Nunavut, a big one there. BC has their foot on the gas there. 7-0 in the 3rd. Nunavut with the hammer. On sheet number 3 in the men's division, it is Alberta over the Yukon as we speak right now, 3-0. The sheet immediate to our left, Northern Ontario and Quebec, it is 2-1 for the Northern Ontario ladies. Our feature game here this afternoon, Quebec leading PEI 2-1, and as Pat had indicated, Quebec putting all kinds of pressure on the island. And in the sheet to our right, and the final one, Saskatchewan and Northwest Territories, 5-0 for the Territories. Saskatchewan has the hammer in the 3rd. Back to our featured game here. We're down to skip stones. It is Quebec leading the island 2-1.
Yeah, I think that's the team I was talking about, the Northwest Territories. Ladies team is really strong. I don't think they've been beaten yet.
A great time here too, Pat, as we reflect on Miramichi Curling Club and curling in general. Had a great time here last year as we were fortunate enough, you folks were fortunate enough to host the New Brunswick Tankard, and that was just a wonderful week. And of course, James Gratton, no stranger to curling fans across the country, with some roots here in Miramichi. So the Sunday that he won turned out to be a great day here in Miramichi.
Yeah.
And would I be correct in saying down Tapas and Tack way?
Tapas and Tack.
That's where the roots are?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tapas and Tack and Nigawak, Take Me Back to Old Barty Bogue. Remember that one? Remember that song? Yes.
Yeah. Heard that before.
Little geography lesson for you.
But there's quite a book on one of the original ladies from there.
Tapas and Tack we're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I can mention that on air.
I just got that there. We're even at 2 here in our feature game. Quebec has the hammer here in the 4th, 2-2.
Yeah, she only married a couple times.
All right. Full compliments, of course, to the local organizing committee here, led by Miramichi Curling Club President Sean Ingersoll, who is also doubling up here as a tournament chairperson as well. We'd obviously like to mention Travelers, who have been a wonderful partner for this event for many a year, including this one here in Miramichi. Curling Canada, I mean, come on, what have those folks been doing here? But everything in the last couple of days just here in force, and are running a wonderful event. I would like to thank the City of Miramichi, led by Mayor Adam Lorden, and councillors as well. We've seen many a councillor wander through the door and take in some of the action here through the course of this afternoon. Curling in New Brunswick, you're seeing some of the sponsors here, both nationally and locally, on the ice level as you look at your TV screen as well. So it doesn't happen without those folks, and certainly the folks who have taken the time to either travel here or come on way over from various points in our region and community to attend these events. Look at as I was looking at the price sheet today, I mean, it's probably too late in the week now to buy the tournament pass, and so sales of those are likely over, but $50, and you're getting 6 4s is 24. You're getting 24 games a day for 3 straight days, Pat, and then we get into the playoff rounds.
You're certainly getting a bang for your dollar there.
Absolutely, 100%. And the evening entertainment, just a nominal fee as well. The canteen and bar services have been second to none, first rate here. So it's been a heck of a week here. So back to our featured game here. Quebec and Prince Edward Island are even up at 2 here. And Quebec has the hammer here in the fourth. And as I understand it, and fill me in here, we'll take a break after 4 or 5?
4.
Beautiful.
8 in games only here, so.
And you're not sick of me yet or anything,
I'm just looking at the guy sitting beside me here,
yes.
and there's another guy that had a lot to do with this tournament.
Another key spoke in the great wheel here at the Miramichi Curling Club. Hubert Willison has joined us on the broadcast. He only came over with 1 cup of coffee, Pat, I noticed. Didn't bother to grab us a couple, but anyways, we'll forgive him for that for the time being.
He's enjoying himself anyway, but maybe at the break he'll buy us something.
Well, you would think. I mean, come on. If he doesn't, we'll put it on his tab anyways. He'll get the shock tonight when he goes to close her off. He'll be going, Quinn and Waldorf got me again. From left to right, Nova Scotia, Nunavut over there in sheet number 1 in the men's division. It is 3-1 for Nova Scotia. The big score put up there on the other featured game here on the broadcast this afternoon. It is 8-0 in the other featured game. Alberta and the Yukon, 3-1 for Alberta. Northern Ontario and Quebec to our immediate left. It is 6-1 for Northern Ontario. Our featured game even at 2, and to our immediate right it is the Northwest Territories and Saskatchewan. The Territories leading the Saskatchewan ladies 5-1. 30 minutes of playing time now. Pat, dare I ask this? I know it's a delicate game of starting and stopping that clock, and you got to think quick, work quick, but has time coming into many of the broadcasts you've done here, or has there been all kinds of time still on the clock to complete the games?
No, one game, quite a few games, especially in the ladies' play, we're down to a minute or less than a minute in some cases. So they're using it up, but the longer you take to ponder over a rock.
Strategize.
But the way this goes now is that when you get in the hack and throw, as soon as it crosses the first tee line, your clock stops.
Right.
You end up with 2 timeouts, and it should be plenty of time to play.
So by and large, the clock's running during the thinking time. You let go of the rock, the clock stops. Correct?
Right, pretty much.
Okay, I got you. You're allowed 2 timeouts?
2 timeouts, yeah.
What's a timeout? 60 seconds, 1 minute?
60,
Yep.
But they call a timeout, and if the coach is here someplace, they wait till the coach gets down before they start timing it. So.
Now, Pat, again, amateur question here, but would these teams have, in preparation for this, Travelers, would they have in their local clubs, wherever they may be from, would they have practiced with this 30-minute rule here to gear up and tune up, or not?
Probably not. Most of them wouldn't have clocks for it. So most clubs don't.
But nonetheless, the point being, it is a delicate game of time management here as we move through the action.
I think that's probably a problem for some teams because they don't get to practice with that. Most times they allow you 2 hours to play a game.
Right. $2.50 tickets, 3 for $5 here, folks. If you want to get a hold of Pat and I from Points Beyond here, we'll throw you in the old pot. You can e-transfer some money here. We'll take care of that. Quebec and PEI even at 2 here. Quebec with the hammer here in the 4th.
They're trying that long come around that they tried before last time they were coming down this way.
Absolutely.
It worked for them before. Sometimes some of the ice you get more break going one way than the other. And this was the out turn he was throwing here, and it looked pretty good.
So now, Pat, amateur question here, but as I listen to folks talk in their curling language and jargon, I had heard earlier mention of one of the sheets had lots of swing, meaning the left and right action?
Well, lots of swing means that it curls one way or the other. It'll like you see where he's holding the broom here.
Yes, sir.
And he tries to hit that broom, and he's throwing this spin on it so that it'll curl back this way.
Okay.
Lots of movement means that if he's holding it out on the edge of the 12-foot over here.
Right, like we had seen earlier.
To get to center ice is 6 feet. So if it curls from where he had the broom, they'll say, like, this one is about a 5-foot curl here.
Okay, I got you.
That's a swing they're looking at. So.
Okay. Well, the good news for myself here, folks, as we're in the 4th end, is I already know more about the game than I did a mere 3 ends ago. So, Pat, I appreciate that here. Even at 2 in our feature game here this afternoon, Curling Canada Travelers 2018 Curling Club Championship, beautiful Miramichi, New Brunswick. The other feature game is over there on sheet B. I keep saying sheet 2, which is what we're used to, but sheet B. Big score in the early going there here before the break. BC leading Nunavut in the women's division 8-0. And we'll update you through the course of this afternoon. Of course, you can follow along on Curling Canada's website as well with live scoring, a wonderful crew who is taking care of that on the tournament committee's behalf here as well.
Here comes Quebec's rock here, and they're trying for the takeout, but this rock is really curling hard. They seem to be looking to build a big end here. Quebec's got the hammer, and only good news for Nova Scotia or PEI is that both rocks are behind the tee line here, so they can put something in on top of it.
I got you. Right.
But they tried this in the second end, but they kept coming out light, if you remember, with the other turn.
Correct. Yep.
They're really working on this rock.
I was just going to say the same. They're really trying to bring this one home here.
Working this one hard. You seen him go by that one. He was really looking at that rock, the Arsenal from PEI there. He really sped up his broom trying to get more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's a little winded right now. You can work as hard or as little in this game as you want, you know. But
yeah, that's fair.
But that's like any sport. If you want to get better at it, you have to get out there and throw, and sweeping is a part of it. And a lot more so than a lot of people think.
And as you say, getting better at the sport, Pat, let's, while we have a second here, have a little chit-chat about the Miramichi Curling Club. Little Rocks and junior curling is in good hands and healthy with the numbers of kids who are playing nowadays?
I believe so. Little Rocks is, I think if I'm not wrong, it would be the Highland Society really looked after a lot of Little Rock stuff, did they?
So the Highland Society of New Brunswick Miramichi chapter.
Yes.
Very kind of them to...
They pay for 24?
They pay the enrollment fee for 24 curlers. Beautiful.
Excuse me.
Certainly.
Yeah, so they're looking after it, and Little Rock has people come out and teach them how to throw rocks and coach them. It might be our second best guy here, Hubert Williston. It's one of them.
Hubert, you were one of the steering, one of the guys behind that too. Okay, beautiful. And Little Rocks here, guys. As I look, are we playing across here with the shorter ends? Or?
No.
These are half sheeters.
Yeah, half sheeters. I got you. I understand now. Oh, I see. I'm looking at it wrong. I'm sorry.
See the two outside sheets?
Yeah, I got you now. Sorry. That was a bit of a dumb question. That was probably the dumbest one I've said so far. I apologize for that. I see it now clear as day.
And they use lighter rocks, those ones over on the side there.
Right.
Some of them
and no doubt.
They're donated. Some of them are donated by the Highland Society.
And no doubt, Hubert Willison Renovations and Construction has erected some kind of wall to put between it. Am I right in saying that? I nailed that one.
Surprise!
Curling, not so much. Construction, I got her. All right, 2-2. Back to the game here. Quebec has the hammer in the fourth end. You're watching live coverage of the ninth draw number 9, the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship. Did we shame him into it? No, we're okay. he was guilty. He's feeling bad now. Look at him. Too much pressure here. All right.
Sir.
A little conversation here now, Pat, as we reflect on the game.
This is the, yes, they're trying to decide. They took a timeout, and I see their coach there. Miss Morissette is out there. Sophie Morissette's a coach for the Quebec team, and she's trying to explain to them what she wants. A lot of hand movement down there. I think she's talking French to them.
All right, so give me the breakdown here now, Pat, or the hierarchy. I'll say here. Of course, we have a skip who is your on-ice leader. There's no question. How much weight does Miss Morissette carry here, or are we open to a conversation, or are we just bouncing ideas and opinions off each other?
The coach?
Yeah.
Anytime they have a problem out there, and there might be problems sometimes about between a mate and a skip, or a mate and a second stone, or whatever, or the skip and one of the other players, and they're trying to decide what to do, and they're up against it. Sometimes you get so involved in the game you forget to look at the little things, and that's where the coach comes in.
Oh, that's his or her job.
They come down and settle you down and,
I got you.
and give you another option.
That makes sense.
But because if you get...
So you're suggesting in the heat of the moment you forget about the little odds and ends. I got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So you just get somebody to come out and talk to you, calm you down a little bit.
Refocus you.
And maybe have a better option than what you were thinking.
Yeah, okay, I understand now.
Because when we were going with Vern up there, of course, they're limited. But David and I used to take them. We'd get them to call a timeout just so we could go and talk to them, settle them down a little bit, because they get a little too excited sometimes. But
so
they appreciate it after. We'd sit there and talk to them after, trying to explain to them why we were doing that way. So.
And that's a conversation you're having either in the club or the hotel. 3 of our 6 games here are at the break already.
And ours has a few rocks left to go, but 3 at least, eh?
Leave it to us to get the long one. 2-2 with
2-2. We'll be taking a break soon.
Quebec with the hammer, and there is an aspect of some on-ice maintenance as well during the break, correct?
Well, they do go out and sweep the ice and take any chaff that might end up on the ice from the horses when they come around.
Oh my! Big score in the other featured game here, British Columbia and Nunavut. It is 11-0 at the break.
Yeah, that's
wowzers.
It's a little hot,
a little heavy.
Oh my! Quebec still laying 1 there.
So that's a bit of a misfire and something to perhaps have a conversation about during the break.
Well, he wanted to come and corner freeze to that one behind the line, but I'm not sure if he didn't know the line, but maybe his option might have been to raise that yellow one up, the one in front.
I see, yep.
But if he's got good draw weight and he thinks he knows the line, because there's not much, those 2 rocks are only about 3 feet apart. And if you're trying to curl around the top one to get at the back one, you're not going to get that much movement. It'll have to be corner froze.
Well, okay. So let me ask an amateur question here. Please don't roll your eyes. When it comes to semifinal, quarterfinals, and all that kind of stuff, and of course, obviously, the inevitable final, is that already been predetermined what sheet of ice you're playing on, or do we select the best, or how does that go?
I don't know.
It's predetermined. Okay, perfect.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here that it's B&E because that's where the cameras are set up.
Yeah.
Look at me. Yeah. Put her together now, boys.
Be on these sheets for sure. And some teams have already paid. I did 2 earlier games in Northern Ontario. Women were on this sheet.
On this particular sheet here?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
See, they played BC first, and then they played Nunavut the next time.
Right, so they've seen her twice.
Yeah.
I see.
And they're leading in their game 6-3. I think they're on
right adjacent to us here.
On
yes.
D today. So.
Yep.
And they all curl out of Fort Francis. So. One girl there, I think it's McCool. I believe she just got married a couple weeks ago. So.
Okay. Honeymoon in Miramichi?
I don't even know if her husband came with her.
All right, a couple of the games here that are happening in this 9th draw are after the break, and they're into the home stretch here so far, or already, and we have yet to have our break and make the turn as yet. And lots of rocks in play through the course of our feature game here this afternoon. It has been an entertaining and tight one here as teams feel each other out and figure things out. Quebec really came out of the hack aggressively here to start the game, but
he's trying that.
Bit of a pressure shot here for the PEI skip after the miss of the last time here. Of course, that would be weighing heavy on his brain as he lets go of this one.
He's hoping to come and sit right on that one behind the button there.
And it looks as though it's going to do its thing. A little bit light.
It looks a little light to me.
They're on her now. The curl was there, the weight was not. So it is Quebec sitting 1 right now with skip stones here and a chance, a draw for 2.
Yes. And Quebec's already picked up 1 2-hander in here. So they have a chance for another one now. Must be a European player here, isn't it?
Yes, I believe she is of Russian descent and origin in the province of Quebec.
We'll see how this works out, Patty.
So it's a draw for 2 here for Quebec, and then we'll have
he's making a takeout on this.
Making a takeout on this. Okay. Oh, boys, this is interesting. It's a bit of a risque one, is it not?
Well, you take that one out, you still pick up 2.
Right. There's something to shoot at, so it is.
It's a 2-hander. That's it for us for break time.
All right, so at the break here, folks, it is Quebec leading PEI 4-2. You are watching live curling action, the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship from Miramichi, New Brunswick. We'll be back with the second half of our featured game here this afternoon after the break.
In tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride.
All right, we're back after the break here. You're watching live curling action from the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship here from Miramichi, New Brunswick. Our feature game this afternoon has Quebec leading after 4 by a score of 4-2. It is 4-2, excuse me. It is PEI with the hammer here in the 5th. And we're in the lead stones. It is Patty Quinn along with Pat Waldriff. Pat with the knowledge of the game. The other featured broadcast over on Sheet B has BC ladies out in front of Nunavut by a score of 11-0. Of course, you can stay on top of every sheet here, failing our updates sporadically here through the course of this afternoon, the early part of this evening, at curling.ca, Curling Canada's website. So we're back here after the break. Again, it is 4-2. And Pat Waldriff has joined me yet again here, so we're back into the swing of things after a little bit of a break. Chance to stretch our legs. We're in the home stretch here now. Another draw here for fans in the Miramichi region and community, northeastern New Brunswick. Come on, way over. We have another draw tonight at 7:30. Following that, some in-house entertainment here as well, so we'll keep you entertained and watered and fed.
I was just outside there, and it'll probably be a hopping good time tonight because it looks like a full moon tonight. So.
Oh my! The forecast is favorable.
For a really good party.
A full moon in Miramichi on a Wednesday night in the middle of November. Hello. It's a perfect storm right there, perhaps.
Sounds like one. They're bringing in all kinds of food, and I can smell spaghetti or something.
Well, I thought
like
I heard
that.
tonight was spaghetti night, Pat. That wouldn't offend me. A little slice of garlic bread.
It's there. It's there.
And tasty too, eh?
You want a pop too?
Now, you know about the in-turns and out-turns and how to throw them?
Well, I know about them, Pat. I'd be lying to you if I said I knew how to throw them, but in-turn, out-turn, correct?
No.
I was opposite there. Sorry, I knew that as soon as I said that.
You were doing for left-handed people.
I am a lefty, too. That's a good pickup.
You can see where the skip's holding the broom is. That's what you aim at when you're coming out and throw the turning once.
Pat, I got to be honest. I'm a pretty staunch left-hander. If I was down there curling with you tonight, I'd be winging him with my left hand. Would you kick me off your team for that, or what?
No. There's a hell of a lot of left-handed curlers.
Yes, sir.
Skip just has to adjust to it because it's a little bit different. But like here, he wants an in-turn here for the right-handed thrower.
Right.
And he's given him about, 2 feet ice there? So he's looking for a takeout on that red rock. So.
Did you want something to drink? No, you're good.
And it looks like he just asked for a draw there. So he must be trying to get a corner guard up to build an end here, because he does have the hammer. And
well, a couple of things. Down a pair has the hammer, so there's no reason to not try and set up something here for yourself.
So he does. He has a nice corner guard here.
Right.
This means you can get around it and get in behind it. But of course, it's past the free guard zone, so he can try and take this out.
Right.
And there's a classic tuck delivery. That's usually Manitoba style.
Right. Jeff Stoughton.
But a lot of the Manitoba curlers, that's the way they learn to throw, up on their toe, and it's a little hard on the knee.
Well, wear and tear.
Yeah. So you curl a few years like that, and you start limping a little bit more earlier in life. Probably with a 2-point lead, we'll try and peel that off too. So, and he puts another one in.
So Pat,
a pretty good spot too.
Amateur question here, but as I look to the other feature broadcast here with an 11-0 down past the break here, eventually time catches up there, and we'll see some premature handshakes, I would figure.
Yeah,
run yourself out of rocks.
It's almost inevitable that you're not going to make a comeback.
Right.
If you get one good end, I've been there before and been like that, and if you get one good end after that out, you probably say, okay, we've done what we can. And
right.
You hate to leave without 1 point anyway. That's sometimes you'll see them stay on. But Quebec's going for another takeout here. And they have it.
Ooh, boys. That's a bit of a miscue there.
Moved his own out of the center, so.
Same net result, he sits 1.
Yeah, he's still got one in there.
So again, folks, we're coming to you from the second floor here at the Miramichi Curling Club. Just a little programming note, housekeeping item, if you will. There is some extraneous noise here. We're coming along the supper hour here at Miramichi, I should say. It's just after 5 o'clock local time, if you're watching in from across the country. So there is a portion of catering services happening behind us here as the teams prepare to have a little Wednesday feast. So the noise in the background will pick up, but Pat and I can talk as loud as need be here. So
I think the later draws, I think a lot of people do go home for supper.
Sounds like a good idea.
But later on for the next draw, I've done a couple of them already, and this place is packed later on. But there is a lovely meal going on here tonight, and it smells extra nice right now.
Yes, it does. And there it is rolling by us. Oh, my.
Yes, sir. Oh, and that'd be one of our main sponsors here, Hubert Wilson, making all the noise back there.
Yeah, so. Wouldn't you know it?
Thought he was building something or tearing something down.
Hey.
More than likely the latter. I was pleasantly surprised at how good some of these curlers are for being club curlers. Some of them are excellent curlers. A lot of them are.
Well, all right. That opens up an opportunity for a question. What is the step between club curling and Brier or Scotty's Tournament Hearts level? It's a big leap.
it is a big leap, and you have to, if you're going to do, if you want to go that route, you have to really commit to it. And most people have jobs, and there's a lot of traveling in the winter, so you have to have an excellent employee that's going to allow you to have the time off to go and follow your interest, your main interest.
Well, and as you say, the traveling and the commitment, well funded would come into play too, as well.
Yes, you have to have great sponsors, and it's you know, they say that these guys are winning a lot of money now, but the amount of travel they put in is not that much when you.
Not a lot of meat left on the bone.
No. I mean, if they win $20,000 or $30,000 in the tournament, it sounds like a lot, but there's 4 of them and a coach, and then you got all your travel time, and you got to
5 plane tickets, a week in a hotel, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, and if you don't have real good sponsors, a lot of that stuff would be paid for by sponsors. But I mean, you're not working when you're away doing that.
That's
so
right.
You have to maintain a job too.
Yeah, there is a price to pay, certainly.
So it's got to be a pretty strong commitment for you to do that kind of stuff.
2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship, 9th draw, Quebec leading 4-2 here. We're after the break in the 5th end. PEI with the hammer here. Man, oh man, as I scan the scene here from left to right, lots of rocks in play here in the various games.
And Quebec's lying 2 again, and they're really putting the pressure on PEI here. PEI's down to their skip stones, and looking at 2 Quebec stones in the house.
Well, we have a second too. We'd like to acknowledge Travelers, Curling Canada, City of Miramichi, and a host of others as well, including the Miramichi Curling Club, Curling New Brunswick. All kinds of sponsors here. A wonderful program has been put together by the local committee. Nice little keepsake for visiting family and friends.
But there's an awful big. You look at the advertisements in that book, and town car sales is really involved.
Well, you know what? Credit where credit is due. That's a very good point you bring up, Pat. Town Auto Group, of course, Town Ford, Town Mazda, and Town Chrysler now.
Yeah.
As the Summers families continue to grow their business, great supporters of the community in general, let alone this particular week here in Miramichi. We have been using a few of their loaner vehicles here endlessly as we shunt these teams back and forth and attend to their on-ice and off-ice needs. So, yeah, great point to be made by you, and we certainly appreciate Hal and Josh and Justin and the rest of the family, and, of course, the employees for their commitment and dedication. A wonderful local committee as well has been involved in all this, so it's been a heck of a week here in Miramichi. And, again, I keep saying heck of a week. We're only Miramichi. We're only Wednesday here, so a long road to go yet, and lots of curling action. As Pat had indicated earlier, if you're within striking distance of us, for goodness sakes, don't be shy. Come on way up. And, enjoy things.
Lots of good entertainment tonight, and come down. And if you've never been in the club before, it's a perfect chance to come and look at it.
Sure,
it's excellent building, and most of the players I talked to from the different teams were really enjoying this and think it's just a Class A building here. Or as we used to call them all the time, the barn, eh?
Right.
And maybe because that was all when they were using corn brooms and there was straw all over everything.
Right, absolutely.
But it's an excellent way to enjoy yourself. And
Pat, as I wax nostalgic here and reflect on the former clubs that served our various communities here, you know, the Newcastle Curling Club, you know, a wonderful facility, served us well over the years, but with all due respect, no comparison can be made between the 2 buildings.
No.
Whatsoever.
Not at all.
Just we've taken a serious leap forward here.
It's excellent, and I just like to see a lot more of our locals get out and try the game.
I agree. I agree.
Because we used to have a lot of weekend bonspiels, and they're down quite a bit.
Well, now again, as little as I have been connected to the curling community over the last couple of years, boys, I can remember we mentioned the post office tournament. There used to be a wonderful bedpan one, as I recall. That was always a big one here from the hospital folks.
From the hospital, yeah.
Yeah, that was a massive day, or if not a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of bonspiels going on. The city used to put one on, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 100%, yes.
And there was a lot of different organizations come out and put a weekend on. And I know Vern Potter there used to have a weekend, and he was trying to raise money to go away to Ottawa with his team. And and there'd be 20-some teams here on the weekend. You
wow!
Know, just to just to come and play and
support.
Yeah, and everybody was enjoying themselves, you know. And most of these bonspiels, they get local sponsors to donate prizes, and you can pick up some pretty nice prizes on the weekend if you happen to get into the money games.
Well, now, funny you would say that. With that, as you mentioned, prizes. Looking at the stockpile of prizes, of course, as we had mentioned, there's evening entertainment tonight, Wednesday, some trivia night, and there's some wonderful prizes for that. Holy smokes, Jane Newsom there near blew a shoe there, but he righted the ship before he listed.
He's trying to freeze onto that rock in the back of the forefoot there. They're starting to move over to it now. See if he can pick up one here. He got right on it and got one on this end, so be 4-3 now.
So PEI manages to pull one out of that. 4-3 as Pat indicates. Quebec with the hammer heading into the 6th now. Time not a factor here whatsoever. Lots of time on the clock.
Yeah.
I see in that game we had mentioned about you were hoping that Nunavut would like to score one. Well, they put up 3 there, so now we're 11-3 in the other featured game.
Yeah, that's a nice end for them, and
sure,
they'd be happy with that.
A little bit of pride.
Because I think last night they stopped. It was 12-0 or something.
Real quick update as we have a second here before we wait for lead stones here in the 6th end of our featured game from left to right in the men's division. Nova Scotia leading Nunavut 7-2. The game we just mentioned, BC and Nunavut in the women's division, 11-3 for British Columbia, 4-2 Alberta over the Yukon Territory. On sheet C, just to our immediate left, it is the women's, Northern Ontario and Quebec. And it is 9-3 for Northern Ontario. 4-3 in our featured game after Skip Newson from PEI put one in there in the 5th. Quebec with the hammer in the 6th. And to our immediate right, the Northwest Territory, 7-2 leaders over Saskatchewan right now. Saskatchewan has the hammer in the 6th. Oh, boys, Pat, that looks a little light. And they've given up on that one.
Yeah, PEI is struggling a little bit in this game with their draw weight for sure.
Trying to find the groove here. Have yet to do so, but time not on their side here as far as ends go. It's time to recalibrate, refocus, and get her back on track here.
Just watching the Quebec player come down, tell the skip where he wanted that rock. This looks a little hot. I'm going to sweep it right through. They don't want it behind the tee line. So.
Right.
Oh, and it stays in there. A little nibble at the back.
Yeah, a little bit of a nibble, bit of a misfire here. So now PEI has something to work with.
Well, they call that a catcher.
Right.
Yes, it doesn't take much of a hit to move those rocks. I mean, when you have something about 40, 42 pounds coming down the ice, and if it hits something, well, you know what would happen to your finger if you had them between the rocks.
Right.
That's how you turn a camel into a 7-day one, eh?
Pat, as I sit here and we had talked about the ice here, and of course PEI struggling to find a groove here. As you know, I think about Briar Scotty's Olympics, whatever. Arena ice, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
The difference between arena ice and club ice, is it a night and day scenario too?
It's pretty much. When you're curling arena ice, you need a much more positive rotation. You can get away with what they call a lazy handle. Rock only turns so many times coming down the ice, but on arena ice you have to
give her a little extra torque.
You have to have a positive rotation on that handle. Your rocks can go astray much more quickly.
And when you had taken Mr. Potter's team and Linda and the rest, is that arena ice or club ice at that?
No, it's
level?
club ice
Okay.
there. That was the Ottawa Curling Club. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see them now when they're doing that those tours and everything there with making the money. And
Right.
Teams from Europe and everything over here playing in those now. Because they're, let's face it, for curling, that's big money.
Sure it is.
It's nowhere near football or baseball.
Yeah, the major four, as they say, yeah. Football, baseball, hockey, basketball, nowhere near, but it's as good as it gets in this world.
Yeah. We're still in infancy.
And as I reference the Olympics in arena ice here, Pat, let's reflect on the last Olympics over in Pyeong in South Korea.
Yeah.
Again, amateur fan that I am, I did enjoy that mixed doubles. I thought that was a lot of fun to watch.
that was excellent.
Yeah. It's nice and quick. And
oh, yes. And some people really enjoyed that, including, what's his name, the firefighter from Ottawa that played for BC there, and he was.
I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Anyway, it'll come to me in a little while. He used to be quite a hothead in his day, slamming his broom around and moving it and yelling at people, and settled down a bit as he got older. And Caitlin Laws really turned it up in the second half of that to win the gold medal.
Yeah, I was going to say Pyeongchang. I kind of caught myself there, but I was right. I just doubted myself.
Yeah, well, you being on radio and the news business all the time, you.
I should have known. John Morris, it just hit me.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now, is that something here at a local level that we've experimented with and tried out just for the hay ever?
I haven't seen it here yet at the club level. No.
It was an interesting take on the game.
Yeah, I think that all came out of Europe first, I think.
And I think that's as best I can extrapolate, Pat. And here we are on a broadcast. I think it's more, and I don't want to diminish this. I shouldn't say more, but it's for the fans, fan friendly. Is the word I'm looking for there. So, and there are some traditionalists that go, mixed doubles don't be so crazy, but
no,
I enjoyed it.
Anything to improve the game or make it more fun for people. And,
thank you very much. Or intrigue them to try it out.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I like the way they can put rocks in play and change the end around and move it.
Right.
And then you have to do your own sweeping in a lot of cases. You throw the rock and then run and catch up to it. You have to be in a little bit of shape to be doing that kind of stuff. But it's a different angle on it. I mean, you still got to throw the rock the same way and everything. It's just
a different look.
And you're not so dependent on other people. There are just two of you there, so. Well, they tried it with rugby to go to the 7-man team instead of the full teams. And
oh my, yeah, absolutely.
And that's quite interesting too.
I noticed too, follow local high school football, of course, because it's interesting to see our local schools after many years of no football programs.
Yeah.
They compete in a 10-man. There's also a 12-man and a 10-man, so there's a different look on the game there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's divided by the schools, populations, of course. Some play 12, some play 10.
They get back into it, and they're looking at younger football players now too, eh? And I think we went through the Lions Club there and bought them.
Yes, you
some
did.
Helmets.
Yes, you're correct, 100%. I would have prospered at that in my day, Pat. I was this size in grade 12.
Yeah.
They would have loved me.
You think you might have been a lineman or a running back?
More of a wall.
Okay, run around him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Quebec 4, Prince Edward Island 3. Quebec with a hammer here in the 6th. PEI put up 1 in the 5th. shorten the gap here.
And PEI is laying 2 rocks right
Sitting
now.
2 right now, yes.
Back peeling off that top guard. He wants to keep the house open in case he has to draw with his last one. They're working hard at the game anyway. Let's see what they're going to do. I think that game on number 1 is over. None of it in Nova Scotia. It looks like they've shaken hands. And
all right, that was a men's division. You're 100% correct. That is complete. Nova Scotia has defeated Nunavut 11-2.
Since they put the X's up on the 7th end there, showing a game over.
Now, Pat, again, question as I look at a game that's ended early, that can only be beneficial to a team in a long tournament to, get a breather, get a rest, get out of here quicker.
That's true, yeah. They don't have to spend as much time on the ice. And in a long tournament, it saves wear and tear in the legs. And
sure.
Because it's hard doing those pushing up and down the ice because you're always shoving with one leg or the other in this game.
I can only imagine.
And some people really enjoy sweeping, but I find it a little breathtaking.
All right, so PEI now has given Quebec something to look at here.
That's a fairly good look for a double here.
It is, too.
It's a little flat, but I think it's there.
Flat meaning?
Meaning they got to move it almost straight across rather than a steep angle.
On an angle, okay, I got you.
If they hit it too thin, it'll
misfire.
It'll come down through here, and if they hit it too thick, it'll either sit there or just move over a little bit.
Right.
But that's pretty good set for a.
As I look to our left, some hands are being shaken over on sheet B as well. It is a final there, British Columbia over Nunavut.
Yeah, that's.
We'll get the official score here as they put the 6th end scores up, but it is a complete game nonetheless. BC has won. Yeah. That is the good news for British Columbia fans. That is the other featured game. As I look to our immediate right here, Saskatchewan and Northwest Territories. Man, oh man, tons of rocks in play over there.
Yeah.
Down to skip stones. It is Northwest Territory 7, Saskatchewan 2 here. So
here's the double try here.
Here's the double try here. Take a look at this, folks. Their honor.
Looking pretty good.
Does look good.
Can hit it too thick.
Yeah, straightened out a little bit there, yeah.
Here's a draw. Too far. The 2 red ones at the top are still counting there, I think. It's Northern Ontario. Pick up a couple more here, so it'll be 11-3. It's probably going to be handshakes there too.
So PEI electing to peel off here now, Pat. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, or a nose hit would leave them lying 3. So.
Right.
So they probably prefer the nose hit. And the way this yellow rock's in behind the red cover there, Quebec's going to have to try and draw for 1. I would think. In any case, even if he rolls out here, they'd be still trying to draw for 1, I think.
Hands shaking on the sheet to our immediate left. Northern Ontario ladies over Quebec. We'll wait for a final there, but it is a completed game. Northern Ontario.
This one, Pearl? He missed it.
Oh my.
No, you got it. So now the Quebec skip's got to draw for 1. Some early endings there. 3 games done already.
Yeah, absolutely. The other the other broadcast crews into the spaghetti before you and I, Pat. We lost the coin toss on that one.
Yeah, I guess we did. got two teams, one at 2-1 and the other one at 1-2, and they're both wanting to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pivotal game for both here. For sure.
See how his draw weight is. Looks a little hot. A little hot. Nova Scotia's going to grab one here and tie the game. PEI. That's about the 7th time I've done that this end, or this game. Maybe this end too. So PEI ties it up.
Well, that'll make things interesting here. Even at 4 into the 7th. Quebec with the hammer.
Yeah, they're only into the. Are we in the 7th now? Yeah.
Into the 7th, correct.
Yeah.
All right, from left to right here, a couple of scores have been posted now for some clarification of those early games. Nova Scotia Nunavut. That was an 11-2. That was in the men's division. BC, the other feature game in the broadcast, in Nunavut, final score there is 12-3. Northern Ontario has defeated Quebec in the women's division. Still waiting for the final to be posted. That is being attended to as I speak here, so we'll wait for further clarification. So 3 of our 6 games here in the 9th draw on this Wednesday afternoon are completed. Our feature game is all even at 4 here into the 7th. Quebec hammer. Arsenault doesn't look like he likes what he threw there, but see him shaking his head ever so slightly. So
yeah, well, that's not bad.
It's not all bad, no. He just doesn't seem to be overly content. Not exactly where he wanted it.
He wanted it over a little bit further,
right?
I believe.
I would figure.
Quebec's got the hammer, so he'd like a corner guard, but it's more like a center guard or center line. He's trying to go right in behind that, I think. They're trying hard to get that in. And they do. Still about half of it showing, so he could make a pass at it if he wanted. But I think a skip with that ice is probably just asking for a draw.
Right.
Not understanding that a little.
Yeah, what are you seeing here?
Oh, I'm just contemplating why he was doing that, but Quebec's playing this game a little bit backwards, I think. Compared to what we normally see.
Do tell.
Well, they have the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, when you have the hammer, you're trying to get corner guards up and rocks in behind them, and they're playing toward the center. And that one went deep. Now, PEI puts one in on top of it with all these rocks in play. Quebec's going to have an awful hard time trying to get it out of there. So I fail to understand why they should be keeping the play away from the center out to the side so they can have a clear shot with their last rock if they need to do that. But right now...
Right, especially, just trying to follow along here, especially with hammer.
Yeah.
Right, I see what you're saying. I get it. Okay.
But it's a little puzzling because they never played this way in the earlier ends.
No.
I don't know why they're doing it now.
A bit of a shift in strategy here for sure, right? Yeah, I get you now. And now, and as you had suspected here, PEI was something to sit against here on this one.
See, now they got one in there.
Right.
It's hard to say which one's number one. I'm looking up here. But in any case, doesn't make any difference. They still
looks
still
like
have one in there.
To my iPad, I'm going to go PEI on that. But again, we're
see now he's going to go to the peel because he couldn't take out either one of those rocks. But I would never try to go behind him. I would have tried to get my hand set up for
more left and right.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking for a double here, I think. Cleared it up a little bit. Wants to put one back up in the middle, I think.
Right.
It looks different with only 3 games going on out there, eh?
It does too, yes, absolutely.
It looks like there's no activity left.
Yeah, a lot less traffic.
This one is very slow coming over. Covered it. A lot of curl once they start to slow down. The rock grabs the ice more and moves it over more.
Okay.
If it's going fast, it can't grab the ice.
On the finish, so to speak.
Yeah, on the finish there, you'll get a lot of movement at the end like that. Now he's looking for, dearly love a double here, I think. Yeah, gonna overcurl. Picked out his own at the back.
Alrighty, so now.
Well, he'd try and put another one in that same hole, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what he wants. Try and steal another one this end. So. The game seems to have changed a little bit in the second half.
Well, I was just going to say the same thing. A couple of ends ago, Quebec was bringing the game to PEI, and now I agree with you. Things have shifted here.
Yeah.
Lots of pressure from Quebec early.
Yeah, and now it seems to have gone the other way.
Yeah.
This might overcurl. They better get a rub off that red.
Yeah, they are too.
It's overcurl. I don't think Miller got out to the broom that time. What I mean by getting out to the broom is he's inside, and that's why it curled so much. If he hits the broom, he should stay on the line longer. So to speak? He didn't hit the skip's broom.
Right.
So I mean, he never got all the way out to it. So this is going to be a fairly heavy shot here to catch this one. And he done it. It's a good-looking shot. But it's still available for PEI too.
Yes, it is.
He's going to use the other turn, of course, because this Miller again throwing. He's the mate, eh, Miller?
Correct.
But didn't throw a lot of weight on this either. Going to get a roll off it too, but into the open.
Into the open. So, Pat, a bit of an odd end here as we look at this. Trading, I don't know if mistakes is the right word, but they're trading mistakes for lack of better as they feel things out here.
Yeah. This is the time of the game, and this kind of a game where everything starts to tighten up on you too, and you're a little more prone to mistakes when you let that happen to yourself. But I bet you there's not an athlete in the world that it hasn't happened to in a tight game. It's hard to relax.
Yeah, true.
It's a nice shot.
It is a nice shot. All right, so Quebec sitting 1 now. 4-4 in the 7th.
He's trying to decide whether he's going to draw or take that out and try and roll behind it. He's going to make the takeout. I think that's the right call.
I can't disagree with that.
Because there's only 2 rocks left for you in the end. If you don't make it, you're looking at giving up maybe 2.
Right.
But if he makes a takeout here and gets a nice roll behind those 2 on the right of the sheet, right of the center line, he'll force him into a draw anyway. Maybe give him 1 on the end. But, anyway, maybe looking too far ahead.
We're up here and they're down there.
It's not a chess game, but sometimes you have to think 2 or 3 shots ahead. So
3 of 6 games are done here, as we've alluded to before. The most recent one, score updated on the sheet adjacent to us. It was Northern Ontario over Quebec in the women's division. The final score 11-3. 3 games are on the ice as we speak. Alberta and the Yukon in the men's division. Alberta leading 5-2. The other one to our immediate right with a pile of rocks in play. It has been the case all afternoon, the early part of this evening. Saskatchewan, Northwest Territories in the women's division here. Newsom throws his hands up. He's not happy with that. Just a little bit of a rub there.
Less ice, and they should have been on the rock sweeping it earlier to hold the line. But once it starts to curl, I think some of the problem is they don't pick up that, don't see that curl too much, and they figure what they throw more weight. But the closer you get that outside in, the closer you get toward the center, the faster it'll curl. If you're out further, it'll hold the line a lot better, and then you'll get a late curl on it.
A little dive,
which is what the Quebec skip did there, and
right.
Or the mate, I guess it was. Patrick Duchambeau. This gets to be a long couple of hours, eh?
Yes, it does. I've been on the go since 4 this morning, so starting to hit a bit of a wall here.
I listened to one of your broadcasts there one morning, and forget who you were talking to now, but you were talking about a shipment of grass that went down in the water, and it was floating into shore.
Yeah.
And he said, "What do you call that? Seaweed?" You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I looked and I thought, "Oh my God, they didn't say that on the air, did they?"
Well, they haven't gotten rid of us yet, so we're all right.
Struck me as funny that morning, though. But
now, as I referenced earlier here, and again, I'm trying to bring myself up to speed here, all of a sudden, to my eye, time is ticking here, and we're only in the 7th.
Yeah.
No concerns here, right?
No.
Okay. Lots of time on the clock. All right.
Lots of times. See, you started at 30 minutes, and you should be around 15 or more when you take the break after 4 ends.
Right.
So you still got half your time left after it's over. So.
And we do have timeouts in play too. I am forgetting that.
Yeah, it's still 2 timeouts.
Yes, that's correct.
Although I think Quebec took one.
Yeah, we've experienced one here so far. Yeah.
Now he went out further. See how, and thrown quieter weight, and see how straight the rocks run. And earlier it's curled on him. And he just gave up 2.
Yes, sir. Now Quebec's hitting 2.
Oh, they got to throw. They got to throw one more, so they might get a 3 in there.
Yeah.
Just when it looked like PEI was starting to put some pressure on them.
Well, it's funny, absolutely. It's funny how quick it's changed here. A few rocks ago, you were like, well, what's going on here? Now, Quebec's firmly in the driving seat here with a draw for 3.
Yeah, well, 2 misses, and it'll happen to you, eh?
Yeah, that'll do it.
And both of them were skip stones, eh? wrecked on one, and then he come up late on that on the draw.
So here it is as Skip Martin unleashes the final stone of the end. The draw for 3. This will make a difference heading home now. Whether it's 6-4 or 7-4.
It's curling for him, so.
There it is right there.
Nice draw.
Nice draw for 3. Quebec now leads 7-4.
Coming home.
Coming home with PEI hammer here.
Yeah, that's an end that got away from PEI because they were having a pretty good setup there.
There was
early.
an opportunity there, absolutely.
Yeah. That's why it can be a frustrating game at times, depending on what side you're on. But that happens in a lot of sports.
Can I ask an odd question, or are you all done with my odd questions? Or you got time for one more? Through the course of a week here, as I look, I'm just looking up at all the rocks here that have been taken off the various sheets of ice. Over the course of a week, when they're getting, such heavy usage, will the rocks change in there?
No, those are all little rocks. I don't know.
No. I realize that, but what I'm saying is, as I see the rocks stacked up here, will the rocks change themselves in the way they respond and play through the course of a week?
Usually, when you come out first in the morning, there'll be a little ice on the bottom, so you really have to clean them off before you play. But other than that, no, they're
a rock is a rock.
Yeah, they. And before big tournaments, they come in and they'll sandpaper the rocks in the bottom, give them better cutting edge.
Tune them up, so to speak, if it were a car.
Yeah. And then our ice maker here does a great job on the ice, but they'll bring in the provincial ice maker too.
Again, and I agree with you. Credit where credit is due. Firstly, the foundation was laid by the local crew.
Yeah.
The word around here is that the ice is tremendous, and as you say, they bring in the provincial folks to give her a little look-see once over. Call it what you want.
Yeah.
7-4 coming home here. PEI with the hammer.
They're just
content to run her through.
Yeah, Quebec they don't want rocks in play.
Right.
They're just going to try and keep it as clean as they can and limit PEI to maybe 1 or 2 if they can, or just try and run them out of rocks.
Yeah, limit the damage or run them out of rocks.
Yeah. Oh my God. Looks like Quebec has curled a pretty good game here today. I think their coach there, Sophie, got onto them a little bit. So.
It's one of those games here as I look at it. It can swing in a hurry. Again, last end there, PEI was setting up something real nice, and you're thinking, oh boy, this is going to get interesting. And then, turn of a dime, it's.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
A missed shot. He's looking for a double here. Oh,
nice
needed
attempt.
just a little thicker, and he would have had it too.
Well, in the earlier ends, there'd be 3 rocks, and there'd be one out way out the wings there, and the 12-foot cheap corner freezing it. Those are cheap corner freezing. I think they're all. They'd be like cheap corner freezing. That's it. That's the end of that.
PEI looking to put up another guard here. Trying to create a little something for themselves before time and rocks catch up to them here in the home stretch of this afternoon draw number 9 here. The featured game has Quebec leading Prince Edward Island 7-4. It is an island hammer here in the 8th. 3 of 6 games in this 4:30 draw are complete. Excuse me, before o'clock draw, I said 4:30, 7:30 draw this evening. double attempt here or straighten out?
No, it's nose hit almost.
Yep.
They're going to sweep it out. That's all they're doing, just trying to get them run down to where they just getting rocks out of play.
Right.
And they're doing a fine job of it so far. The boys from Trois-Rivières. No comments, Patty.
Not right now, thanks.
Put that one back in the same place, and he knows what ice to give right now because he just had 2 of them popped out of there.
Oh, boys, you're hearing the crowd respond in the background to a heck of a shot over here in the sheet adjacent to us, Northwest Territories in Saskatchewan Women's Division 7-4. Excuse me, heck of a shot there from Saskatchewan. Lots of rocks in play all afternoon. Quebec just peels off here.
Well, they're rapidly running out of rocks.
Yeah.
Only got 4 left.
They're going to need 3 of them.
Yeah. Not looking good for PEI right now. Another one coming in. It's going to overcurl beyond the red one. Look at it going.
Wow, eh? All right, so PEI here now.
We're going to try and hide behind that corner one. That's a nice shot. Not easy to get at, but they're close enough together they might be able to make a double there.
Assuming a double, hands will be shaken.
Yeah. The odds are definitely in their favor right now. So.
So the 7:30 draw this evening, that'll be draw number 10, folks. You're going to see games between Northern Ontario and Ontario. Oh my, high drama there. Manitoba and Yukon as well. So those will be the featured games here on sheets B and E for the Miramichi Curling Club. This one here.
Just got one of them.
Just got one. So the window of opportunity remains open, although ever so slightly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. I miscounted a while ago. You do the stretch, do you, Patty?
I got to do the stretch. The old legs are seizing up.
Mine too.
A few more miles on yours, but we're both feeling her here. 7-4 Quebec over PEI here in the 8th. The PEI Hammer, a featured game in the 4 o'clock draw here. Draw number 9. The Travelers Curling Club Championship, Miramichi, New Brunswick. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening in. It's been a heck of an afternoon of curling here. There is a 7:30 draw tonight, as I mentioned. Your featured games tonight are Ontario and Northern Ontario. And Manitoba and Nunavut as well. You got the late evening shift here, or are you off?
No, I'm off now.
Okay.
This is my last one. I do too tomorrow morning.
Beer and spaghetti it is in the forecast.
Looks like high drama building on that.
Absolutely. My eyes continue to wander over to that Saskatchewan Northwest Territories women's game.
Down by 3, they're late.
The number of rocks in play all afternoon has been staggering over there. Nice little shot there now, Quebec.
He's only got 2 stones left up there.
Yeah.
Needs both of them. Quebec eliminates one more and game done. She's laying 2. She needs 3 over there to tie the game.
Gotta thread the needle there, Pat.
She's just doing a draw, I think, into her back ones here. Mustn't curl as much on that sheet as the one we've been looking at.
Well, I've seen indications of that here as I've wandered over. A lot of weight on that.
Well, we looked on the weather coming up here, and it looked like it was supposed to be windy every day, like 20 km/h wind. It's been nuts, you know.
Not much curl there, is there?
No, there's not.
That should leave the Northwest Territory skip something to aim at.
All right, Pat, they're on this one. Her PEI needs all of this one.
Oh, they're there, okay.
Well, it'll see. Just rolled in the last second.
We're trying to watch both games now.
Yeah, I know. So am I here. I'm getting a little. We'll let the camera do some of the talking here as our eyes wander here this afternoon.
I think the Quebec skip just has to eliminate this stone, and it's pretty much over. It will be over if he eliminates that stone.
Yes, absolutely. We're down to the
That's our mascot in BC.
brass tacks here now.
He's like the young fella. He said he's really everybody's taking a liking to him, so they're all babysitting him.
I told him earlier, I said,
I would say that's it.
All right, hands are being shaken here. It is a final in our feature game this afternoon. Quebec has defeated Prince Edward Island, and that'll set things up nicely for the evening draw and a full day of curling action here tomorrow in Miramichi for the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship. Thank you to the gang at Curling Canada and Travelers and Bell TV1 as well. Make it a final here for Quebec over Prince Edward Island this afternoon. Hands are being shaken on that game of high intrigue to our immediate right as well. So 5 of 6 games in the 4:30 draw. Excuse me, I keep saying 4:30. The 4 o'clock draw are complete here. The lone game is still on the ice is Alberta and Yukon in a tight one in the 8th, 5-4 with an Alberta hammer. We're going to stay here for a few moments and just finish this one out over here, Pat. So 5 of 6 games are complete.
Oh, they stopped doing it on the other one, eh? So he wanted to, he moved over there, so okay.
Yeah, so now we have our work cut out for us here.
Yeah. Don't even know any of these people.
No, didn't do any homework here at all whatsoever.
Yeah, that's...
We're left to our own devices here. What we can tell you is this, it's 5-4 Alberta over the Yukon right now. Alberta has hammer in the 8th. Alberta with the Yellowstones, Yukon with the red.
That's
we'll get the best shot we can here for you.
I see that's about the lowest time we had left on. That's for the Yukon.
You saying 150 over there? Yeah.
Yeah. But
okay.
He's only got 1 rock left, so
right.
it's plenty of time for him. But.
So we're down to the final 2 stones, and the game you're looking at now.
That's about all he's got left. He's got to try and get behind that cover, but then that'll leave a draw anywhere in the 8-foot.
What do you call that there that gentleman has in his hand here? It's a fancy-looking rig.
Oh, that's an old corn broom.
It is an old corn broom. The old.
Well, it looks like
it looks as though. Yeah.
He's just got them all taped up now. They mostly just use them for sliding now.
Yeah.
Trying to balance that.
Old-fashioned.
Really
still
old.
Buy a corn broom, or?
I don't think you're allowed to use them in the clubs anymore because the straw breaks off.
Okay.
But you see a lot of the Western guys, the older fellas, will have the old corn broom they started with, but they put tape on it now so it doesn't leak straw over it.
Right.
And they just use it for their balance when they're sliding.
Okay, I gotcha. So 5-4 Alberta here over the Yukon in the lone remaining game. It is an Alberta hammer. This is Yukon's last stone here, so this will have to be pretty much a dart here, and then
yeah, he's got to hide that behind those 3 rocks out in the side there.
Yeah, give himself a shot, something for Alberta to look at.
And let the Alberta skip make the draw for the...
Sure.
Because in this case, I don't think he'll try and take it out, because he'll have the hole anywhere in the 8-foot would do it, I would think, after this shot.
Been a wonderful afternoon of curling here. Lots of fun as we scanned from left to right here. Lots of curl there, Pat.
Yeah, and they're working it hard, getting it over there, so he's going to get into the rings.
All right, so.
I still don't think the Alberta skip will go after that.
So rather than appeal, you're suggesting a draw here, is that what you're saying?
Well, if he's confident in his draw, if he's not, he'll throw something to try and take it out.
Gotcha.
He's going to go after it by the looks of it. He is.
So with a hit, it'll be an Alberta win. With a miss, it'll be 5 aside, and we'll be forced into an extra end.
Just what you were looking for.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh, it shouldn't be. It's wide open, and he must have more confidence in his takeout ability.
I do.
Than his draw.
All right. There it is, a 5-4 final, Alberta over the Yukon. Our featured game this afternoon, Quebec down Prince Edward Island 7-4. Patty Quinn along with Pat Waldorf for the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship at Miramichi, New Brunswick. There is a draw this evening at 7:30. Please tune back in wherever you're watching and listening in from across the country, specifically Quebec and PEI, on our featured game. So long from Miramichi.
Good night.
In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs, right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs, right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs, right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs, right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the